Welcome back to day 23 of 30 days of gentle grief support. I'm Linda Velasco. I'm a grief and trauma therapist. I also have lived experience in navigating through this very difficult journey of grief. Today, we're going to talk about a truth that is something many of us face, but few of us talk about. What do we do when grief suddenly feels heavier again? Or even after we were doing better, it comes crashing right back down again. If you're in that space, you're not alone. This is something that I hear for so many who come walking through that door. They say, I thought that I moved through the hardest part of it, or I was doing really well for the last year, and now I feel like it started all back over. Grief isn't a straight line. It isn't something that you can say, I've done this, and this, and I'm moving on and I'm doing good. It looks like a big squiggly line, just all knotted up, and it loops, it recycles, it sneaks up on you in the grocery store, in a song, in a smell. It comes when you least expect it. One day you're okay. The next day you are curled up in a ball crying again. That's grief. That doesn't mean that you are going backwards or that you are back at square one. That just means that your heart is doing something sacred and it's messy work. That's what grief is. It's messy. Even setbacks are a part of healing. And when it feels like too much, remember, your grief isn't failing, it's feeling. I want to repeat that. Your grief isn't failing, it's feeling. And as I talked about in some of the other days, it's so important that you feel this. It's the only way is to move through it and feel it. I can tell you personally that I've had these setbacks plenty of times. I've had those waves of grief hit me like out of nowhere. I talk about it in the workbooks and the journals. I even have a few pages about grief is like a wave and talks about it just suddenly came crashing in and gives you some prompts. And for me, I can remember certain times when this grief seemed to resurface out of nowhere and make me feel like I was back at square one. And I know this may sound like, oh no, if you're just in the beginning of your journey. Now, this is my journey, but I can specifically remember year 13 after losing my brother, Jeff. For those that don't know, if you're just listening for the first time, I lost my brother, Jeff, to suicide. Year 13, I don't know what happened, but it felt like I was going through it all over again. But it was different. It was definitely different. But I was having flashbacks. I was having panic attacks. I was really struggling with the anxiety and the fear and the grief again. And there was no rhyme or reason. One thing that I know as a professional therapist is that when we go through a significant trauma at a certain stage of our life, sometimes as we go into the next life stages or developmental stages, that stressor or trauma may revisit. It may resurface and it may look really different. And we may need to go back and process it at this new stage. And that's what I think was happening, is that as I was moving through different stages of my life, my grief showed up differently. So I wasn't moving backwards. I wasn't falling back down. I was just grieving in the place that I was at that moment. So I want to encourage you, if you experience these waves, these grief attacks that come out of nowhere, just go with it. Just go with it. Look at it differently. You may be looking at it through a different set of eyes, actually, because you're in a different space, in a different time of your life. And just remember that you are not going backwards. So if you have been journaling along with me for the last 3 weeks, I want you to grab your journal. If you don't have it, hit pause, go grab it. If you're just reflecting with your heart or mind, that's fine. We're going to journal or reflect on this prompt. When was the last time a wave of grief surprised me? When was the last time a wave of grief surprised me? And what did it feel like? And what helped me stay afloat? Or what might help me next time? If you are new in grief, maybe you can reflect on what's triggering the heaviness right now. What's triggering the heaviness right now? So remember, this isn't the end of the video. I'm going to give you 45 seconds to a minute just to reflect. There's no wrong answer. There's just your truth. I know 45 seconds to a minute's not a lot to express what might be going on, so feel free to hit pause in this video and come back to it later. I wanted to share with you something that I have in both of the books, and it's about if you get caught in a grief wave. And it's a little grief tip. And it kind of came from the idea of if you've ever been to the beach and you've seen the signs if you get caught in a rip current. When I saw it one time, I remember looking at it and looking at the instructions, and it really reminded me of that's what we need to do if we're going through a grief wave. So I wrote in here, it's a little box, this little tip. It says, if caught in a grief current, number 1, remember whatever you're feeling, it will eventually pass. Number 2, focus on your breathing and take deep breaths. Number 3, just float and go with the feelings. Number 4, if you need help or need to talk to someone, call someone in your support circle. So obviously it's a little different than a rip current, but what they tell you is don't fight against it. Don't fight against the rip current. Just go with it. That's the same with grief. Just go with it. You'll come out. You'll be okay. Let's just take a couple deep breaths together and reflect on these words as we inhale and exhale. I want you to take a deep breath in. Grief moves in waves. And exhale. I trust I won't always feel this low. Inhale. Grief moves in waves. Exhale. I trust I won't always feel this low. Inhale. Grief moves in waves. Exhale. I trust I won't always feel this low. Now for today's affirmation, you could write this down in your journal so that you could come back to it and reflect on it later. But definitely, I want you just to repeat these words. This moment feels hard, but it is not the end. I am allowed to spiral and still be healing. This moment feels hard, but it's not the end. I am allowed to spiral and still be healing. I know these grief waves or grief currents, they are tough. I've been through so many of them and continue to go through them. But guess what? I'm still standing and you will too. If you would like more support as you are navigating through this difficult journey of grief and would like to get a better understanding of what you're going through, be sure to pick up a copy of Mending Piece by Piece, either the Navigating Grief with Hope or for Suicide Loss. The links are in the description below. I want to remind you that you are not broken. You are grieving and you will make it through this. If you're looking for some other additional support, be sure to sign up for the free Mending Piece by Piece newsletter. Again, link is in the description. Please share with me in the comments below what has helped you as you are going through a grief wave. Or you could share about a grief wave if you're going through it right now. We're here together in this Mending Piece by Piece community. If you've cried more today than yesterday, it's okay. You're not broken. You are grieving. Let today be what it is and know that another day is coming. Until next time, continue mending piece by piece, one step at a time.